So, hello everybody. Why? Because you need to. Okay. So I'm following guidance on doing a reading. I was told exactly how to set this up, and now I'm realizing there's something in the orchestration as to why it's occurring that's unfolding in my own life, and this is basically a moment of assembling the puzzle pieces of my personal Yggdrasil tree. So I was told there's a tower moment coming for you. And for myself, to go into the storyline of how this all came to be, was yesterday, was a moment of recognizing that there's an unintegrated aspect of self that I hold on to. That's a self-sabotaging witness. It's a shapeshifter, trickster, shadowy aspect, and it runs in my bloodline. And it has to do with artistry and creation point of artistry. There goes the feet. The creation point of artistry. As I'm now uploading the solutions to Gaia right now. I've got my feet in the dirt. I have some pentacles drawn on my feet right now, connecting to the earth magic and uploading the solution, but also allowing a tower moment to occur. I was told that this is going to create a personal tower moment, and I've got everything set up as such. So I've got this unintegrated aspect that's been haunting me for years. And it ties into my bloodline. My grandfather had the very similar energy where he would go into the depths of his shadow, almost to suicidal tendencies, massive drug addiction, as I'm aware of. I'd never really met my grandpa, so it's all the lore that I hear from my family. But he was very much so a chaos man. He was a psychologist, and he was very much so, he was a poet as well, and a man of mystery, as I'm discovering and unveiling in my own life. He was a very good storyteller, as I'm aware. Very much so had a little bit of that sage aesthetic. But his art was born in madness. He very much so was, he would go into the mud to blossom the lotus, right? And that's how the budding and the flourishing of the lotus occurred. And there's this whole aspect of the imprint that is carried and held through the bloodline in regards to art and how we create and perceive and witness and share our art form with the world. And it's while there is so much harmony that can be born out of chaos, there's this layering of filth that seems to exude in the creations of our familial art that gets shared and passed down from genealogy, generation to generation. And today, last night in dream state, I had this really wonderful, powerful, magical, celebrative energy. And the celebratory raining of these frequencies, which, yesterday was 727. So I believe the Accord meteor shower came through last night in Dreamscape, but I was up late. The energetics that I was even calling forward, whether it's what was occurring in that meteor shower, it's what I needed, that was the energies I called forward. And so what I had heard today, after getting up, having breakfast, doing my thing, was I need to come outside, I need to get my feet out in the dirt, I needed to get out my scepter, to do this. And so I have this scepter here that I've created a while ago. And it's a little bit my Gandalf stick that shall not pass. I was told to bring this, and I was told to bring... He brings me so much joy. This guy brings me so much joy. To bring out my little guardian to do this. So as I was guided, I was told to do some runes and to begin plugging into my own Yggdrasil tree, my own soul path, to kind of unveil a little bit of the ancestry. And a part of that is that I pulled 2 runes, and I'm going to be discussing what the runes mean to me in this now moment, and what I am receiving. And so the first rune that came out is Gibo. So Gibo to me is very much so a gift. Gifting sacrifice, but it's also charity. And so this moment right now is not only a charity to self by expressing what I need to express and read in this video, but it's also sharing the charity and the wisdom and the knowledge with Mother Earth, as we are bringing in whatever coded in last night and was brought forward from the celestial events and the celestial energies is now asked to be gifted to Mother Earth, right? And even in this, I have to look at, there's so much that's harmonized and in sync here. In this now moment, what isn't harmonized? And there's a lot that isn't harmonized. But the one thing that's coming through is this. This is not harmonized. And it's fascinating because even it went out on me. And there's something about that, about reducing and deducing the flame, right? Coming back into this balance of the earth frequency. And a part of this, I guess, sacred ceremony and sacred gift right now is about disposing of those attachments that don't serve, right? In the essence of this, what does this mean to me? This is a crutch to suppress emotions. This is about halfway done, right? So it means that even for myself right now, I'm about halfway finished to really letting this thing go. But this thing for a period of time in the family pattern, because we have an addiction line that runs in the family, is that there's always something to suppress the emotion or to run or to escape. And that's what was coming forward in the essence of this revelation of the gene pattern, is this running spirit, this running mentality that has plagued me for centuries of time. And how I am this running essence is constantly self-sabotaging. It's like right when I'm on the precipice or the brink of something big, there's this aspect of me that shows up and morphs and shifts and changes to whatever archetype I'm running away from. It's an unintegrated aspect. And so now it's a part of my pathway to begin feeling and to go into my own Yggdrasil tree personally and to begin to rise up this part of me and to gift it love and to unite with it. And a part of this unity is coming through with Jira. So it was, I know, if Patrick sees this, Patrick's gonna go Jira. Same with Eve. Jira's been showing up everywhere, and it's because there's a call that hasn't been heeded. I think the reason Jira keeps showing up in my life, because this is the way that I see this, is sacred ceremony and union. And I forget who, I think it was either Russell or it was Eve that brought up that this is a union rune, and I always see it as reunion, right? And it's like we're accessing parallel dimensions and parallel selves right now in this now moment, because there's something about multidimensionality and connectivity right now where we're coming into union or into harmony with greater aspects of self, lesser aspects of self, but parallel aspects of self. And it really is this merger of time and space that's occurring. And before even starting this union was saying you need to unite with Gaia. It's time to unite with the plant kingdom and to unlock the elemental nature and the elemental essence from the DNA. So as I'm saying that right now, here it comes. And I was told the tower moment's gonna come from this. So if I'm not online for a little while, you know why, right? But I'm meant to share this, and I know it's important. There's this union that's occurring with Gaian and with the Gaia coding, where we're not only uploading the solutions to our personal Yggdrasil tree to share and to unite with Gaia and to unite with the world for those that want to access it, but it's also that Gaia wants to come forward and wants to support and to activate evolution of our Yggdrasil tree. She wants to expand our roots. She wants to expand our capabilities, and she wants to gift us an opportunity to meet in sacred ceremony with herself, to discover more of that we are. There's this essence right now of really, it came through the other day with the Ankh, and I'm not going to unpack the Ankh right now, but it's this whole, there's this level of high wisdom and deep wisdom, higher learning and deeper learning that comes forward. And I always see the higher learning or the higher wisdom as like, the stars, reaching up into higher dimensions and bringing that down here. And this really deep wisdom is this connection point that comes up from Gaia that's saying, I want to birth you and born you, right? I want to come up through and bring you into the fog and the bog. I want to bring you into the misty caves of your realm and of your own shadow, so you can meet it with light. And I'm very much so seeing the Hermit card in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And it's the Hermit is, he's in his cloak and he's in the fog, and he's got the here it starts. He's got the light. He's got the light. And even now I'm hearing mushrooms, mushroom land, and I'm seeing the Amanita muscaria. And the Amanita muscaria is a interesting. That's Santa Claus. Santa Claus. It's interesting because Christmas in July has been coming up. It came up for LB and it came up for myself, and it was this discussion of mistletoe, right? The kiss under the mistletoe. And I feel like a part of that right now is this merger of essences to come into the story of our illumination. So in the story of the Amanita muscaria that I've heard, this is the interpretation that's coming forward, is that there was the Amanita muscaria was brought forward during times of the winter because it was the darkest. Winter solstice is always the darkest time of year, right? And in the winter season, the Amanita muscaria was hung upside down from trees by shamans, by elders, and they were gifted to the people of these villages to basically bring presents, which was illumination. It's really about coming back into presence, but coming into union with our present self, which is past, present, future, parallel, all coming into one. But then it's this unity and harmony with the divine essence of Gaia as well. Planting firm in our Yggdrasil tree to begin navigating through our own root system, right? And it's beginning to recognize, that as all roots coexist, what roots are fraying, what roots are burnt, what roots need nutrients. And it seems like in myself, there's a waning of the soul that requires a nutrition to bring in a waxing of the soul, right? And so going into these waning root depths, coming down into the root chakra and even into the sacral, to marry our own Yggdrasil tree, we get an opportunity to, it's a fermentation process. I'm hearing ferment, and I feel like there's a stabilization that requires us to ferment in our own soul's awakening, so it can come through as this very beautiful, mature essence. It's a maturation of the child. And the maturation of the child is that it doesn't lose its innocence, but it's the ego of the wounded child, or even of Chiron that comes forward. This was coming up yesterday, was because since Chiron is retrograde, LB was helping me with this, with my Chiron placement and giving me some more insight. And it seems like that there's this spiritual ego and spiritual narcissism that wants to be seen and be witnessed, and also this destructive energy that is just dying to come back into creation. Like it's a part of self that is getting, it's like, that child that's creating such a fuss, right? It's creating such a fuss that it wants to be known, be seen, be heard, so it could come back into the light. Like it's like this part of self right now that's coming forward. It doesn't want to harm or destroy. It just wants to be seen, and it wants to be healed. There's been this reclamation of pathways and reclamation of frequencies and reclamation of essence that's coming forward from future and past. And while some are really going into the future right now and bringing forward this whole new essence, there's this aspect of some of us are really going deep into our past to bring forward the ancestral entity, the ancestral line, the thought form out of control that's been coming forward and wreaking havoc in our own lives and in our own bloodline. It's a really whole new way of clearing bloodline karma. Clearing bloodline karma. What do you want to say, Bark? What do you want to say? This Bark fell, and it's like it wants to talk, and it says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. There's something that's been blocking play in the frequency of the elders, right? Because if we, when I think of elder, this is my viewpoint and belief system. I think that my family line has seen the essence or the energy of the elder in a way that's been misconstrued. I almost see the elder as serious and strong and all-knowing, almost patriarchal. I'm the elder. Don't you know that I'm the elder? And there's something about the essence of the elder that's really playful and joyous that's coming forward. The essence that this elder self, this elder aspect, it wants to come into play. And the elder is held within the child. The elder is not held in this, it's held and nurtured and embraced through the child. It's embraced and held through the child. So I'm guided to bring my Dreams of Gaia tarot deck as we're here doing all this Gaian energy, Gaian work, rooting in to not only this beautiful mesquite tree that I have back here, but plugging into my own Yggdrasil tree, my own Akash. Ooh. Yeah, it's a moment of disarmament. It's a moment of breaking the chains, right? It's a sacred offering to the divine, right? It's a sacred offering of bringing forward the fruits of our labor, which is our coding, our DNA, and merging it with Gaia. As there's a beautiful butterfly. Hi. Transformation, a beautiful butterfly coming forward. We're offering, right now I'm offering the fruit of my harvest, which is held within the codex that I've embodied, right? And I'm taking the key and I'm choosing to unlock these chains and these shackles and to drop the weight of the ancestral burden, right? One level is I see this as burden, but I also see it as a flourishing of wings. Like the wings are down right now. And what it is, it's a moment of rest. It's a moment to just rest and know flight will come soon, but it's these chains that need to be removed from the patriarchy inside, unlocked through the key of the heart, to unlock the voice of our truth, the voice of our song. There's a song that wants to be sung, but as a result, the key of the heart needs to be unlocked, and these chains need to be removed in order to do this, right? It's interesting because this is very much so a warrior or a warden energy, but the warden is chained, right? The warden is chained and doesn't know it. This is very much so a sacrifice energy, almost a Yeshua energy, but like an elemental Yeshua. And saying, the fruit of the Garden of Eden is here, but you have to unshackle yourself and you have to drop the burdens of sacrifice from the family line. The sacrificial lamb is no more. The martyr is no more. And it's very deep. It seems to be more than for myself than just saying, I'm not a martyr anymore. It's something where like I almost have to personally go into the lineage and drop it. Yeah, there's a keeper. There's a keeper energy that wants to be met, right? This is very much so a sacred rite or a sacred order that's held in the bloodline that wants to be forgiven and dropped. But this is meeting this essence, which indeed is an angelic essence, but it's a blending of both. It's both shadow and light. It is the all. It is the all. And there's something about poetry and casting runes that I need to do more, hence why I'm getting the runes out. Something with poetry. Ashe nu nai da nakai. Where's this coming from? Hold on. Chimapuru. I'm not bringing that forward in the message. Thank you. Go. Whew. Yeah, see, when this stuff comes up, it starts playing. Why are you playing this way? When I bring this up and I start to face this, it starts to bring up a lot of fear and a lot of destructive why are you bringing up the destructive tendencies, right? It's that meeting of shadow with light to come into a level of activation with this priest energy, of this solar god energy. It's almost like the oversight of this is a merger or a meeting with duality to come into oneness. It's a play. It's a playing of games, but it's also how we water the dandelion. You know, the dandelion to me is very much so an energy of prosperity and of joy. But the dandelion is mistaken. It's mistaken as a weed, right? Because I have a lot of people that pull dandelions because they overgrow. But there's something very beautiful about the essence of the dandelion that's coming forward. it's a merger and a meeting with all that's happening. It's truly a sacred divine union that's being overseen right now by the ancients and the ancestors, so we can unlock our own freedom through our Yggdrasil. You know where to go. And I'm hearing into the unknown. You know where to go, into the unknown. There's something very expressive about this energy though, but when this guy came out, it came with it the initiation of, are you gonna listen to the fear? And even just now, I threw the card on the ground, and it's kind of like this, like, off with you. Banish. And it's interesting, that's why I brought the scepter out, is I feel like it's this holding guardian of your truth when the interactions occur with these elders, right? Is not allowing, the elders in a sense want to see if you're gonna play, right? Because they almost, there's this level of like, Seven of Wands coming, not Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups coming through, which is like, which cup are you gonna pick? And not everything that glitters is gold, and not everything is, and I'm hearing the song, we will never be royals. It just doesn't run in our blood. Royals by Lord. Interesting. My back is really itchy right now too. So there's an activation of the spine that's happening through this connection with this mesquite tree and plugging into Gaia. So what other messages want to come through from this deck, from this gift exchange, and from this self-imposed tower moment? You know, it's like a dissolving of old structures. I'm feeling the itches of the back is almost like you're letting go of an old backbone and allowing for a softening into a new backbone, one filled with joy and one filled with pleasure and harmony. But as a result, it's allowing the death to occur naturally, allowing the cells to catch up to the new coding that's being provided. Whiskey. Why am I hearing whiskey? Ah, whiskey. 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 His key. His key. His key. You know, it's interesting. There's a period of my life where I used to take words and I would break them down. And it has to do, so this is subjugation patterns, okay? But there's something about this words that I will break down into codex that really used to make me spiral out of control. And so for myself, when I hear whiskey, I would break it down into W, the letter W, and then his key. And what is, and W, I'm hearing witness. Witness his key. Whose key is this? Whose key is this? Who is this key? Who is the elder of this key, or the keeper of this key? And what are they bringing forward? Right? What are they bringing forward? Queen of Earth. The merger with the Gaian guardians. You know, and it's interesting, as I see this as a bowl, this is, for me, it's letting go of the stubbornness. Letting go of the stubbornness. I know, Taurus, the only thing about Taurus isn't just stubborn, right? But there's this something of this, drop the game, it's not enough. Drop the game, and allow yourself to meet with the keys of the, because it's like, there's two choices on this path of key holders to connect with, right? This seems like two slots on the journey, or two roots of the Yggdrasil tree. Do we walk the path that the ancestors have walked numerous times that led to this karmic patterning that I have to clean and this genealogy pattern? Or do I take a whole new root system through Gaia and through this connection with the forests, through the connection of the rain, and through the connection with Mother Earth? This is very much so a frequency of reduction, right? So reduction is, in a sense, it's like, as I'm seeing it, it's very much so temperance. It's taking this energy and passing it between the cups until it reduces down into a natural state. Until we begin to split. It's like a separation. The reduction is separating two frequencies from one another. So we have two purified essences rather than a blending. You know, the blending is that alchemy or the soup, and it's almost like, okay, so you built this soup, but now let's begin to connect and begin to separate all parts of the soup, so then they're both individual entities or energies in itself, and gifting us a moment to find the pure essence of every single part of the vision, of the landscape, of the soul. It seems like there was some soul bind and some soul tethering that was going on in regards to the journey of the twin flame. In the journey of the twin flame. Ooh, and I'm feeling that one. You know, the twin flame journey in itself is brought forward a lot. And it seems like when we enmesh ourselves in other people's karmic cycles and karmic situations, we almost begin to muddy our waters and the soup of our own personal Yggdrasil tree. And I feel like when we're hopping from root network to root network of other people's trees, we can get lost in the forest of a blending of trees, which can almost be good. But when it comes to self-reflection, it's also a moment too of coming into a basis of stasis in our own reality by connecting to our own personal vision and our own personal DNA record, our own soul essence for a moment in time, to begin to separate all the different energetic patterns. So there's not so much enmeshment and quantum entanglement, but more of this really beautiful sovereignty that is felt within the essence. And for myself, I'm still clearing a lot of twin flame stuff. A lot of that because I chose to sign up for that mission. I chose to sign up for that mission, that there's this moment of being able to learn what it is to subscribe to that channel, and how I need to unsubscribe from that narrative because of the binding, the attachments that are to say that I am not a whole soul in one, but I yet need to share my essence with another essence. And that in itself created a blended mess of distorted masculinity and even distorted femininity, because this union didn't come in purified. There was mud on both sides that when joined created more of a muddy mess. And at the time, it takes the awareness to know about energetics and how we are, and our perceptions of storylines, and how when we join and come into union, is it a harmonized union, or is it a chaotic and distorted union that is built on the foundation of distortion and chaos? And yet is it something that, can we bring harmony to it? And that's where we need to understand alchemy to bring harmony to that. You know, elemental alchemy, energetic alchemy, quantum alchemy, however you want to pronounce it. We need to understand at greater levels about that alchemy and how it's shared with the world. This is really much so the water goddess to me. Part the seas, cleanse the soul. Part the waters, cleanse the soul. But there's also this water goddess, or this water deity energy, that wants to come forward and assist in facilitating and washing this wounding away of the ancestral patterning. But also, I feel like the karmic patterning of the twin flame journey is picked up in the ancestral line. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, because I'm not getting anything, right? But it's this blending of the water deity, water energy, with the earth goddess coming together. Coming together to work on purification. Yeah, and I'm kind of stuck there. It's like all of a sudden I hit a dead end. And I feel like that's as far as I need to go right now, and that's okay. You know, something normally is like push through, and there's like this kind of, you got to the gate. Stop the gate. Stop at the fence. Hold the phone. And just be in sacred ceremony with Gaia. And so now I'm going to go into some toning. Now that we've brought in these Gaian energies, take a moment. I'm just going to take a moment to shift out the energy. And if you want to join me in some toning, we're going to tone some Gaian frequencies to just produce the sound and the essence of Mother Earth and Gaia through the realms. And the coding that she wants to bring forward for all. Sparkly. Sparkly and giggly. So thank you guys for taking a moment to join with me in this dance, in this play, in this fun. And I think right now is a moment to focus on play. To focus on play. Focus on play. And focus a little bit on Fehu. A little bit of a focus on Fehu. Alright guys, I love you all. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Keep checking back. There's gonna be things going on. I don't know. I know I'm about to encounter something and I'm excited and I'm embracing it. It might not be as bad as I'm making it out to be, but either way, you know, self-induced tower moments provide us an opportunity to clear that which is not pure shall crumble, right? And so I'm going to take this moment to just bring it in and bring it up and bring it through, to feel what I need to feel, to honor and to love myself, and to clear this from the ancestry, so we can all walk forward as new, as love, together in community. So until then, I'll see you in another moment of the now. Mwah. Ciao, guys.